think so.
What letter is this?
Q.
Q. This is indeed a Q.
California Congressman Devin Nunes, frankly, deserves the Medal of Freedom for really showing, sadly, the biggest abuse of power corruption scandal. Let's just get your general take on everything and where we are and what is important now.
Thank you, Sean, and thanks for having me on again. Where we're at, a lot of people ask, well, what's left? We still have information that we need from the Department of Justice. However, I will say, as of tonight, we are getting closer and closer to having the information that we need.
Tell us why.
One of the big issues that they have provided, they have allowed all the issues that were in our subpoena, they have now either we've been able to review, our investigators have been able to review, or they have been delivered to the committee in one form or fashion or another. So let's put that aside. There's still more that has to be done, and we're, of course, months and months late. So where are we? We talked about this last week. We have at least 20 pages of the FISA the FISA warrant that went after Carter Page. We have about 20 pages that the House Republicans have asked several months ago for the president and his office to declassify. We need that declassified. Senator Grassley, secondly, asked for the Bruce Orr 302s. Bruce Orr is going to become more and more important in this investigation.
Explain a 302 and were they altered? Explain a 302, which is an official report. So were they altered?
So the FBI interviewed Bruce Orr at least a dozen times and put together reports. So once they fired Steele, which at that point they should have not been meeting with him anymore, but what they had is they had Bruce Orr, whose wife Nellie Orr was working for Fusion GPS, was going to meet and still get the information from Christopher Steele as they were trying to verify this unverified dossier or the Clinton dirt that was used to get the FISA warrant. So that's number two. Number three, there is exculpatory evidence that we have seen of classified documents that need to be declassified. These were not, when I say
exculpatory in nature, in what way? I don't mean to press you. Exculpatory in what way?
In that the Carter Page FISA, when the judges should have been presented with this exculpatory evidence that the FBI and DOJ had. So those are the three areas that we have left in terms of what we need declassified.
I've been hearing rumors of on top of that, a tape and potentially Intel service involvement in all of this. Is there any truth to that?
Well, that I think gets to the origins of the investigation, which we still are unclear on whether or not. We know that the Australian diplomat that was serving in London, we were told that it was Five Eyes intelligence that was used to go after Papadopoulos. What we discovered in our investigation is there was no Five Eyes intelligence, and in fact, Downer's story, the Australian diplomat, doesn't even make any sense. So we're still trying to follow up on that. But in the big picture here, we need these documents declassified. That has to get done.
Well, there was a report by,
Secondly, we have about
Paul Sperry that might happen. I'm running out of time, and I want to get this in. This is very important. I just played the tape, the April 2017 tape of your colleague, Adam Schiff. I won't add my commentary to your comments. And it sounds like he's colluding with Russians for dirt on Donald Trump. And wasn't the phony dossier that Hillary and the DNC paid for, wasn't that full of Russian lies? And it was used to misinform the American people. They got a FISA warrant, as your memo pointed out, and the Grassley-Graham memo pointed out, the bulk of information for the dossier for the FISA.
Yeah, well, look, if it would have been up to the Democrats, they were in on this from the beginning. So was the media, Sean. The media in 2016 had all this information too. So they know that this information was being generated by the Clinton campaign. You had DOJ, FBI, all those cast of characters that were meeting regularly with Christopher Steele. You have Bruce Orr, the number 4 at the Department of Justice, who I think is going to become a more and more important figure in this. And a lot of the investigators and reporters should be looking closer at Bruce Orr.
Appreciate your time.
All right, there you heard it. Welcome to the Patriot Hour for, what is it, Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tuesday. All right, Tuesday, August 8th, August 7th, Tuesday, 2018. How about that? All right, folks, there you heard it. DOJ, FBI, playing games. They knew about the Hillary campaign, the DNC. They worked with the Russians. They had a Russian dossier. They had people working, for fusion, firing them over here, putting them in over here, still trying to work with these people that the FBI fired, this Christopher Steele, and then continue to have, somebody's wife work with them and kind of track it out to try to get all this, what he wrote to confirm and see it, unbelievable. There's your Russia collusion. There's your the projection they do. They always project onto others everything they did that they're guilty of themselves. Here today we have Facebook, YouTube, all of these, Twitter. They're all shadow banning, playing games, acting like what we're talking about isn't the truth, but yet what they've been supporting, being behind, part of, complicit in, has been wrong for 18 months, 2 years, going on 3 years, going on 50 years, and they air it, they repeat it, people stand by it, people are so asleep, they don't think for themselves, and that's all we're trying to do here at the Patriot Hour. Get you to think for yourself. Take the facts, connect the dots, dig into the facts a little more, connect some more dots, and then there's your truth. And if you can't still verify it 100%, at least you did all the legwork. They just come up with stuff, and there's no basis, nothing to look into. Unbelievable. All right, folks, welcome to the Patriot Hour. I'm Mike. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for joining in for the Patriot Hour update video. Probably one of the most important updates of your lives, our futures, our collective futures. I mean, things are dropping. Okay, we're on the Sarah Carter. Actually, we'll check the Q here. No new Q updates. QAnon, Q clearance. What is it? What are we talking about here? Do your research, folks. Take a look around the channel. I got some videos. What is Q? And there is tons of information around the World Wide Web at this time. If you're looking for the mainstream, all you're going to get is when they jumped in 3 days ago, 4 days ago now, and it's all the exact same across the board, just like clockwork. Not even digging into any of the meat, just telling you that it's fake. It's a conspiracy that's gotten out of hand. Okay. So Sarah Carter, exculpatory evidence. All right, so Nunes says Obama's FBI withheld exculpatory evidence in the FISA application. All right, this is just from today. Nunes, House Intelligence Chairman Devin Nunes, stunned the leaders in Washington Monday night, confirming that former President Barack Obama's FBI failed to include exculpatory evidence in its FISA application against the Trump campaign volunteer Carter Page. All right, so they had all of this evidence that they needed to bring to the courts when they filed the applications. They withheld that the Hillary, the DNC paid this guy. That was kept. That somebody's wife worked over here and they were doing this thing. That was kept. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. That's what he's explaining. All right, this exculpatory evidence. All right, that needed to. Now they're asking for it to be they're all classified, and it needs to be declassified. So Carter Page FISA, when the judges should have presented this evidence, all right, with the application to the FBI. The FBI and the DOJ had it. All right, they knew it all along. They all withheld this from the judges that signed off. Things that came with that, they withheld. Now, somebody's got to go down for this. This isn't just a slap on the wrist and, hey, of course, right? This is what we're waiting on. This has all been told months ago. This is where people are just don't get it. You know, we were learning about this back in April, hearing about this back in April. Think of all the sealed indictments, all the resignation of CEOs, resignations of senators, resignations in Congress, terminations at the senior level of the FBI, termination at the senior levels of the DOJ. The president's allowed to act in a elevated manner when you find out the heads of those two agencies are corrupt, been doing wrong, they're on the take, they're working for somebody else, they were doing things wrong. At that point, you get to, this isn't something that Trump would have put in, this is something that's been around, all right? You get to elevate your military officials around you a little bit. You get elevated with knowledge to, because you have the power to shut down whole agencies. But that starts getting scary to people. If you don't expose what's going on, the way that they're doing it, they've already got Donald set up so much in a lot of the, half the country's eyes watching the MSN and following along with their fairy tale that doesn't get, that gets promoted, it gets backed because the media is complicit. Basically, a lot of the deep state, which spills over into the Democratic Party. It's almost the whole Democratic Party. And then you got some Republicans as well, folks. All right. This is deep state. There's people, oh, Trump's just as bad as all of them. Show me your proof. This is somebody that watches like CNN or MSNBC. They tell you that, they spit it out, and you just say, show me your proof. Wow, because he's got money and you don't think he's different. And they don't really follow. That's just their excuse because they watch these certain channels. They have decided long ago when they left their household at 18 that they loved this football team. They're a Democrat because that's what was instilled into them, right? These are people that do not think for themselves. They are spoon feeders of the MSN. They drink the purple Kool-Aid. They beg for more, and they help spew it around. Think for yourself. Wake up, folks. Wake the hell up. Wake up fast. We need you. We need you all to come to the light. Dark to light, folks. This crap cannot go on any longer. They're setting up the chaos. They're showing us the solutions. We've been hearing the same promise for 50, 60, 100 years now. Just a little bit more of your tax dollar and we will make the world a better place. It doesn't happen. The world is worse off under these administrations in the past. They're going around creating wars, creating havoc, creating refugees, creating just displacement, flooding people from other cultures and other people. I mean, they have done it all. They tried it with us here several different times in several different manners. Just think about it. It's not our fault. It's what was inflicted upon us. The attacks will only intensify, folks. Logical thinking and start thinking for yourself. Ask the simple question, why? Why would all of these, 98% of DC did not vote for Trump in that area. 98, more than half the party that he ran for didn't want him. All of the opposite party didn't want him. None of the corporations, bankers, Wall Street, none of it. The whole system was against him. Now, does that make you right sitting at home watching this? Well, why watch CNN? Yeah, we're all right. No, you're all wrong. A great man have said, if you find yourself following the masses, standing in some huge line, going where you don't even know where you're going, it's a good time to take a step out of that line, look at it, and probably go the opposite way. Everybody was against Trump. Nobody had any good reasons why, just because he wasn't part of the system. I thought everyone was always begging for some non-system person to come and do this. Take down the swamp. Drain it. We don't need these 30-year politicians standing there anymore. They've promised us the world. They've had their shot. They took deals that didn't prosper America. They took deals that lined their personal pockets for their personal agendas. So lots of agendas going on here in the U.S. Lots of agendas going on all over the globe. Our agenda here at the Patriot Hour is simple. Freedom, to promote freedom, to talk about it, to keep it, to help you understand it. Freedoms and liberties. Simple. That's it. To spread the truth. If we are wrong, if we find out we are wrong on anything we report, we will, we've done it before, admit that. Because we don't have, we're not like the mainstream. They will lie, and then when, then they just spin it onto something else at, after 18 months, it's just like, Trump won't admit there's Russia collusion. Well, you guys were blaming him in Russia to have colluded. And at the very last minute, it turns into that he just won't, and he has admitted it several times. Not only Russia, but other countries have meddled. Maybe Russia did it the most this last couple cycles. But he has admitted. All right, folks, so we have no new QAnon, Q clearance updates. Read a little bit there off the Sarah Carter. Unbelievable things happening every day, more and more. We're getting to that burst. Something's getting ready to pop here. Big news is going to be dropping. And these people aren't going to have any kind of answers. They basically had a normal guy, not that Donald Trump, you can say normal because he's been on TV, he's done this and that, he's got the money, we get it. But they use this whole system, this whole surveillance system, the Five Eyes. They didn't get the authority, they did it around. They did it in a dark manner. Tons of abuses throughout the whole system. Tons of people abused the system. They need to be held accountable. They need to be fired, demoted, let go. And if there is some kind of jail time for doing these things, somebody should be held accountable. It's a sad situation, a sad day for Americans all over, all over the country. Both sides of the party lines, all right? This goes across both sides of the lines, folks, all right? I am not so much a Republican or a Democrat. I don't label myself as such. I am a constitutionalist. I lean conservative with the Republicans for the border issues, the guns. Certain things I align more, for sure. All right? But I am logical. I listen for the logic. That is who is typically the best candidate. All right. Again, I'm Mike. This is a Patriot Hour update. Just wanted to get in here, read you those couple of articles. Please, again, if you're new, subscribe, like, share, comment. Take a look in the description box. Take a look in the comment section after you comment yourself. Great information down there. Tons of links, tons of people talking, pointing you in the right direction. It is a great tool for everybody, a great collective tool that you can either give by leaving a comment or just read and take, because you're going to be shot off in a million different little directions. Great info. All right. Again, we'll see you later here at the next update video real soon. God bless, God evening, and Godspeed to each and every one of you worldwide. We'll see you back here real soon.
You know what letter that is, Rover?
I think so.
What letter is this?
Q.
Q. This is indeed a Q.
Froggy.